Hi, Taurus. How are you? I am doing a standalone video for you because there was some technical issues with your part in the horoscope that I uploaded with the main one of October. So I'm doing one just for you. Um, it's really nothing big, but just a mistake there that was on it, and now I'm wanting to do a dedicated one for you because that's not fair. So, Taurus, the main themes for you are first and foremost. This month is all about your seventh house of marriage, business partnerships, and actually all kinds of partnerships, whether they may be a duet or a dual. Contracts, agreements, negotiations are included in this, and also open enemies as part of the seventh house. You will also be working on your health and daily routine, scheduling, service to others, which relates to both your fifth house of love, romance, children, creativity, pets, and gambling. And it is also relating to your seventh house of partners. Repeats and revisions regarding your ninth house of travel, travel in the mind, higher academia, the World Wide Web, foreign places, people at a distance, and publishing. Of course, the two eclipses we have this month, a new solar eclipse, lunar eclipse, so a beginning in your sixth house of routines and some sort of ending or culmination of your efforts regarding your first house of self, physical transformation, updating, or your CV and the sort. So let us start with a few days ago when Mercury in Virgo, your fifth house, opposed Neptune in Pisces, your 11th house of friends, groups, associations, and your hopes, wishes, and dreams. This could have been your love interest, isn't your friend's cup of tea, or your friends could be advising you regarding your love interest, and it's just not sitting well, or maybe even advising you regarding your child because they may see an issue you don't, because it's Neptune in Pisces. So there might be this opposition. A lot of astrologers will say it's confusion, but I don't see it as confusion. I see it as an awakening, a realization. um, or it could have simply been because you are busy with a love interest, a child, or a new baby, or pet, or children are back from school, or and they're living with you part time, full time rather, until they find a place, or you don't have time, and you don't have time to be with friends like you did before. If it has to do with gambling, then they are good friends opposing your gambling habits. Um, so that's that. Moving on to yesterday, the fourth, as I record this. Today's the fifth. Mercury entered Libra. Libra is your sixth house of routines, health, and habits. You either started a new routine or schedule, or are about to, and Mercury is bringing in the information regarding these actions. Um, a couple of days from now, on October 8th, few days from now, finally, Venus leaves Leo. Hooray! It's been in there forever. And it enters Virgo. Again, Virgo is your fifth house of love, children, and creativity. For most Taurians, it is about a new love interest, or a love interest that's getting a little bit more serious, or just, painting the town red because the fifth house is the house of fun, or a new child, pet. And if it's creativity, Venus has been sorely missed here. So Venus will start blessing this house with these aspects. And of course, Venus is all about love, money, beauty, and yes, creativity juices will start flowing. So that's good. Okay, on the same day though, Mars in Libra, your sixth house of routine, will square Pluto in Capricorn. Capricorn again is your ninth house of higher education and people at a distance, publishing. So, just when you start enjoying the fifth house matters, something urgent regarding your sixth house of routines will need your attention because of a ninth house matter, which, like I said, is travel, academia, and the such. Um, but as I have mentioned before, squares are not to be feared, but embraced because they really do work in your favor or in favor of both parties in opposition, actually. It is beneficial in that it either jumpstarts a stalemate or finds a workable solution. In many cases, you actually gain from a square. And this could be your routine has to temporarily change because you are receiving visitors from out of town. Um, and because maybe of that new baby of yours, or your daily habit has changed because of a new baby, or it is a love interest. Maybe you're traveling to meet the parents, or the parents are meeting you, and your sixth house of routine actually benefits because you took advice on sleeping more along with your new baby and you feel more rested. Or, and on the other side of the coin, yes, you may have started classes and midterms are causing a ruckus with your routine, but your advisor helps you find the perfect schedule for tutoring and project completions and the such. Or your publisher sends back your written work for revision and you thought you had all this free time, but you have to change your schedule to do the revisions. But again, squares are beneficial. So in the long run, your work will become a bestseller, maybe because your publisher is a genius. Whatever the square, it is not to be feared, like I said, but rather embraced because the universe wants us all to succeed. So there is rhyme and reason to even tense aspects. Okay, a few days later on October 10th, Pluto will station direct in Capricorn, your ninth house of travel and academia, religion, philosophy, law, publication. You have had a few months of dormancy regarding the ninth house matters because it was retrograde and Pluto was giving you a chance to review what happened, um, maybe between Christmas and March, as there were some sudden changes to your ninth house matters. But the sleeping giant has awoken with new info for you to either stick to what was working or to give you a chance to make revisions. And for some of you, it does have to do with your career, having to be at a distance. I did mention that in the original video, as Pluto is leaving Capricorn and entering um, the next sign, which is your 10th house. I did revise this whole video because of this part for you, but after looking over the degrees and aspects, I'm actually going to stick to the fact that your career or business does need some space for you Taurians. You can listen to your August and September video on that because it is a little more detailed, and I don't want to take up your October synopsis time with something that I've already recorded. Anyway, and getting back to Pluto stationing direct in your ninth house, just a couple of more things regarding the stationing of Pluto direct before we look at the oppositions in the same day. So, as to give you a clue on the theme that Pluto feels there is unfinished business here. So, as I have mentioned earlier, and for other signs and in other videos, the 24 or 48 hours of a planet stationing is when to pay attention, because all that energy and vibration is at a standstill. So all the information and action is condensed of what is to come. It does set the theme that will resonate into the future, reverberate into the future regarding a certain area. And for you, it happens to be in the ninth house matters. Plus, it hardly moves. Pluto hardly moves in October from its station direct. And because it is ending its 15-year of tour of Capricorn come next year, for us, never to see Pluto in Capricorn until another 250 years, I think it's justified in saying the end of Pluto tours are an ending of an era as it begins a new era with a new tour of the next sign. Um, Pluto is a powerhouse planet. It is significant. It is a significant outer planet that affects change with a slow, grinding movement, not leaving an inch unattended. And that is the purpose, because it is a death of some sort, an allegorical death, and a rebirth, like the phoenix rising from the ashes. This is what you call a paradigm shift, where you can't and won't go back to the old way of operating and thinking once Pluto destroys and rebuilds that particular sign. It's touring and an extension, the house affecting um, a particular area of your life, which for you, it's not the ninth house. Pluto is nearing the end of touring Capricorn. Capricorn is a very serious, traditional, and methodical sign who slowly and meticulously scales the highest of mountains and cliffs, no one ever being able to push them off. And most astrology predictions show Capricorn as depictions, rather, um, illustrations show Capricorn as half goat and half fish. So it can also go to the depths of the oceans. Suffice to say, Capricorn is learned in both areas of Earth, our grounding unit. It is an Earth sign. And oceans, our hidden and deep emotions, are nurturing. Anyway, all this you may think might be mumbo jumbo. It is for you to take seriously the stationing of Pluto, and also just the whole Pluto and Capricorn transit you have graduated from. You have shed your fear and any control the ninth house may have forced you to go through and submit to. The power plays that engaged you has actually taught you how to be a more powerful, if not equally, um, an equal power opponent that you dealt with in regards to the ninth house matters. Okay, so let us look at the oppositions on the same day that Pluto will station direct in Capricorn. So the Sun in Libra at 17 degrees, your sixth house of routine, is making, excuse me, you feel conflicted about a past wound or a regret, maybe about a secret or a person from your past. Um, well, I should have told you what the opposition is. The Sun in Libra opposes Chiron in Aries. Libra is your sixth house, and Aries is your 12th house of the past and secrets. Sun and Chiron is both at 17 degrees. Excuse me. And the second opposition is Venus in Virgo, your fifth house, opposes Saturn, master teacher, in Pisces, your 11th house. Venus and Saturn are at 1 degrees. So yeah, getting back to deciphering it. Um, like I said, maybe your daily habit or routine that is changing is making you feel conflicted about a past wound or regret, maybe about a secret or a person from your past, or because your schedule may be hectic. It is testing your faith and patience, because faith and patience is a part of the 12th house. Or You can be just longing for peace, quiet, or alone time because your routine is so hectic. Again, this could be because of a new love interest, a new child, a child returning home, a new pet, maybe an elderly pet, something lost or in the past regarding gambling, maybe. And regarding the second opposition, because it is Venus in Virgo, your fifth house of love and children, opposing Saturn in Pisces, your 11th house of friends and groups. Maybe it's friends, groups, associations, memberships, and your hopes, wishes, and dreams for the future. Maybe you weren't thinking of falling in love with a romantic interest, and now it is getting serious, where it may change your future hopes, wishes, and dreams. And it could be because of an unexpected pregnancy, maybe. A lot of people think, well, the unexpected, I'm referring to, a lot of people think that because Uranus is retrograde, it is quiet. Uranus does not do quiet, it lurks in the shadows. I tell you, I fear Uranus. Oh my God. It waits until you least expect something, and boom. Yeah, Uranus really scares me, lol. Um, let's talk about something else and move on. Well, I mean, I was referring to the unexpected, maybe, an unexpected pregnancy, because Uranus is in your sign and the fifth house is involved. Okay, moving on to October 12th, the planet of war and action, Mars, enters mysterious and alluring Scorpio. And that is your seventh house of marriage. Partnerships, contracts, agreements, negotiations. Anyone who really knows you well, that can hold up a mirror to you and reflect back of how you're feeling. So the house of mirrors, and also open enemies. Now, the really important thing this month, your seventh house of partners, that will move very rapidly with final conclusions by or right after Christmas. So Mars starts this. So there are three Taurians here. The first group is the single, dating and about to seriously date, or newly dating Taurians seriously considering engagement. The super hot action starts with Mars on the 12th, entering Scorpio, and the discussions, talk, agreements, conversations will can come in towards the end of the month. And this energy is coming, by the way, is coming at you more than you initiating it. Even though it is the house of mirrors, and your partners will be reflecting back to how you really feel inside, but it is an energy coming at you. So keep that in mind. The seventh house sits directly opposite your first house. If you are the solidly committed and longtime couple, Torians, this is something about you physically changing, maybe your appearance with or without your partner's approval, or it may surprise your partner. Because remember, crazy Uranus is in your sign, and it'll make you make, yeah, sudden changes. Oh my, Uranus. And thus the heated exchange maybe between you and a partner. And don't worry, if you are solid, this does not lead to like Splitsville or drama. It may be just a sexy kiss and makeup session, or you two could be actually working on a venture or an idea. Or it can be regarding a business partnership, either a new startup, expansion, or someone buying someone out of a business, of an existing business. The third set of Taurians will be the ones that are in the midst of a breakup, separation, or have an ongoing issue to be resolved either way. Again, this is not out of the blue or a surprise. This has been an ongoing issue, probably from last year, and more heated this past spring or summer. And the out of the blue is really going to come from you because, like I mentioned, Uranus is in Taurus. Um, it is in your sign. So you will be making the sudden moves. It's here because you're you're longing for your partnerships um, to start getting, a shake and a twist. The heat and the action will lead to the agreement or paperwork towards the end of the month, with a final stamp or lock in by or right after Christmas, as I mentioned. If you have ever seen a scorpion, they stay very still for a long time, but when they move, it is with lightning speed and without warning. So, this partnership thing, whether personal or business, the hooking up or breaking apart, will also happen very quickly once the decisions are made. Um, but again, I don't want you to think that you solid people you know, are going to have this out of the blue incident. It's for the Taurians who have issues and ongoing issues. You guys know about this, is what I'm trying to say. Let us talk about the solar eclipse in Libra. The first set of the Aries Libra axis in the north and south nodes, respectively. Since this is the first eclipse of the Aries Libra nodes, it is powerful and it sets the stage or the theme for the next eclipses that'll happen here. Stage or theme of what? Of this new era, this new adventure of Uranus entering your sign and the end of Pluto and Capricorn age. So I wanted to explain why this upcoming eclipse is important because it does coincide with the closing of an era and beginning of a new one. Now, this is a new moon solar eclipse in Libra. So your sixth house of routine, health, scheduling, daily habits, and rituals, service to others, small animals, and gossip is also in this house. Uh, I mentioned earlier your fifth house of love and children is also involved, thus, the need for a new routine or a health habit. But just remember with your scheduling, it is about splitting your day into three sections for it to work. So, work 8 hours, fun 8 hours, sleep 8 hours. You cannot substitute one for the other. They're like gears to a machine. If one goes out, the other fails as well. So just a mental note on that. And if you hear a snoring, it's my pug. um, okay, so another thing that I wanted to say is I think eclipses are like a 48-hour movie trailer of a 6 month, year or longer movie of what will happen or culminate in your life. So, honor about the eclipse days, those weird, random, or maybe even out of place events, people, conversations that happen. They are a snapshot of what is to come. Also, and as I have said before, the day planet station or the singular eclipse event day is when to pay attention because that is what will resonate through time. I just wanted to note that. Um, and also, predictive astrology is not so you think you can change what is written to happen. A lot of astrologers say, oh, no, don't worry. You can change it or you can. No, no, you can't change in what is written. Uh, you are where you need to be. The planets will give you what you want, not what you need. Um, Sometimes it does, but it is for you to understand. Predictive astrology is really for you to understand why it is happening. It is to make your journey a little bit smoother. Some people, especially fixed signs, have a really, really hard time with change. Others become really anxious and agitated, while others become like stifled. So I think predictive astrology is just to relax those tensions and relieve anxiety, because you will have to go through whatever you need to go through. It is a journey with a present at the end of each chapter that you complete. But astrology just makes it a little more pleasing or less anxious of a journey. Okay? I hope that makes sense. Just a quick mention, Uranus, even though retrograde, is quite active, like I said, this month behind the scenes. So, yes, surprises and maybe even shocking events regarding the money sign, your sign, um, working its, Uranus is working its scary magic, but magic nonetheless. Again, I'm so sorry I keep laughing. It's just when I get scared, I laugh, I giggle, and Uranus really scares me. Okay, on the 17th of October, Mercury in Libra, your sixth house of routines, will oppose Chiron in Aries, your 12th house of secrets. And we had this opposition with this sun before, so you already know, you will already have known on the 17th what this opposition is about. And then October 17th, Juno, the bride, enters Virgo, your fifth house of love and romance and children. And I don't usually mention asteroids, but I do when they're at 00 degrees. It's important. So, something about your fifth house, maybe you start talking about really seriously locking this relationship in. Who knows? If it's about your children, maybe one of your child is getting married. Anyway, yeah, Juno is doing its magic starting the 17th. October 20th, Mercury, this time in Libra, your sixth house of routines, will square Pluto in Capricorn, your ninth house. The sun earlier did this, so now you have a clue on what it is about. This time it's information, um, or agreements, contracts, because Mercury rules that. October 22nd, Mercury moves into Scorpio, your seventh house of partners. Look for the information and clarity regarding your partnerships, contracts, and negotiations, and even with your enemies on the 22nd and forward, as the heat and action started back on the 12th. Mercury also rules Gemini and Virgo, and that is your second house of income, job, and value system. And of course, fifth house of love and children, respectively. And Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. And of course, Pluto is in Capricorn, your ninth house. So, this information Mercury is bringing will be in regards to a combination of these matters. But definitely, the action and the heat is being followed up with the conversation, the agreements, the promises, and what have you. Lastly, we have a excuse me, a lunar eclipse in Taurus, your first house of self, physical appearance, and personality. Something here will end. That's one part. Something about you physically will end. Um, about your physical appearance, rather. So everyone relax. Um, or it is a culmination of your efforts coming to a fruition. It may be a wardrobe change, maybe a shoe change, like from high heels to flats, or flats to you'll start wearing high heels now. Um, Maybe it's a new radical hairstyle, or maybe a more subdued one. And you've been doing radical a lot. Um, I always think of Miley Cyrus and the transformation. Different colors maybe in your wardrobe. You will not do black anymore, or you will not do paisley colors. Losing or gaining weight, especially for the pregnant Taurians. who are pregnant, who are going to get pregnant, or who just had a baby. You'll be working on that and on the regime, and so on and so forth. So something physically about you is well. It cut me off. How rude. So yeah, where were we? Something about you is ending physically. Um, uh, because another reason astrology is giving you is both Mercury and Mars will be opposing your Jupiter and Taurus on the same day. So you have been making some changes here and experimenting or getting bigger because you were pregnant, maybe more since Jupiter entered Taurus in April of this year. Now it has stopped and gone retrograde, stopping the expansion of your first house of self to give you a chance to make changes, keep or discard anything that is not working for you. Thus, this ending, this lunar eclipse. Um, I know if you're pregnant and you have a full head of beautiful hair because of those vitamins, or you're glowing, you don't want to end that, or a bigger chest. Some people, but anyway, yeah, let's move on. Finally, the last few days of October, we will have Mercury and Mars both conjunct in Scorpio. Your partnership house is lit up here. This is an important day to figure out the final conclusion regarding your partnerships when Scorpio weather is finished by Christmas or little after that. So this day that they conjunct, also pay attention because that'll reverberate towards final conclusions just after Christmas. And we end the month on a nice note. Hallelujah. um, a pleasing trine aspect between Venus and Virgo, your fifth house of love and romance and children, and Uranus in Taurus, your first house. Maybe your child will like your radical new do. Who knows? Or your love interest, or your pets are really making you beam, and that is beautiful. Yeah, I love happy endings. Anyway, Taurus, I really did want to make this standalone video for you because I just thought it wasn't fair. I just rushed through yours, so I want you to be happy. Taurians are really nice people. I love my Taurian friends. Anyway, if you did like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. It really does help my channel. And subscribe, it's free. So thank you, Taurus, and have a great month. We're all rooting for you. Bye bye.